Hello, it is July 8th, and that means the scores were dropped, and I promised I would make this video. I remember somebody told me that I had a lot of confidence making that statement, or they were worried I wouldn't make one, but I knew I'd make this video because of the results, and here they are. So first of all, a couple things that I'd like to point out. First of all, what an amazing year it was. What a special group. And I knew it early, and it was pretty obvious. And it was a great group to put in the effort to rewrite all them tests. Because I got to tell you, as a teacher, it's really hard when you do that, and with the wrong group of kids. I'll just leave it like that. But I had the perfect, not a good, but the perfect group of kids to redo tests. So I appreciate that. So anyway, so this is to celebrate everybody's amazing accomplishments. So the first thing for the scores that is my favorite, that I never thought would ever happen, excuse me, is that the score I got the most of was fives. That is just, for the scale of students taking the test, that one, I don't think we'll ever touch that one again. Maybe there'll be some anomaly where we might break the average or the passing rate, but more five. I had 50 fives, and then I had 47 fours. So the fours were right next to it, and then 28 threes, and then 22s and 13 ones. And again, those ones aren't all bad. That means that some of you at least listened to me and attempted to take an exam to help you get ready for college. So that just means everybody's taking the test. That's what the low scores mean, is everybody's taking the test. And I actually did go through all of them. I would say I'm not going to say, there was a couple, and I'm certainly not going to say the people. There were a few twos that were a little surprising. There were a few threes that were surprising. Probably just has to do with how much studying was done. So, I mean, that's kind of how it goes when you're borderline. Let's see here. There's a couple other things. We had, in the school, we had 188 students take the test. I had 158. So, and Mrs. Hastings at 30. All our rates were almost identical. Like, a few things were different here and there. She was a little higher in one thing, I was a little higher in another. The percentages were different, but only because she had a small group and number and I had a large class, but the ratio was identical. So that was always cool as well. So also a couple other highlights. 3.64 was the average. Last year was 291. Last year was a little lower than normal because how many kids took the test, but that was not bad. 291 was not a bad score when we had that many kids take the test. But this year, we had twice as many kids take the test, and our average score went up by 0.7. That's, like, I don't even know how to describe how insane that is. Again, when you're talking about hundreds of kids taking 90 kids taking the test one year and then 188 taking it the next. It's not like there's 25 kids taking it and you're going to have these crazy adjustments. But anyway, so just a few other things. The percentage breakdown is 32% fives. Last year was 19. 30% fours. Last year was 32, which is like, there was more fours last year by percentage. But that's because all of you moved up to fives, so it wasn't a problem. And then the threes were 28% this year, 26% last year, about the same. And again, that's because the scores went up. And then the two rate went from 29 to 20, so that went down. And then 15 and 13 for the ones. So the ones went down by 2%, which again, that just means that again, you want around 10% ones, oddly enough. That's like the perfect percentage, depending on how many kids are taking it. Because that means I'm not forcing you or suggesting you don't take the test. So anyway, and I'm sorry, so one last one we had, the global average was 62% passed. So we destroyed that with almost 80%. And then we had 149 kids total pass the test. And I'm going to do some research, but I'm going to guess that's the most in the state of Texas in a public school, period. So I'm on a mission to find out if that's true. And then I'm going to put a big 150. So that's the mark to go after. But unless we get an extra 60 kids to take the test, I don't see us hitting that. So congratulations. And like I said, I've been teaching for a long time, and this was a special group, and I'll have a good group next year, but hopefully They'll even be 80% of what we had this year. Enjoy the rest of your summer.